could tell Mark where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Atlanta at Grady Hospital, and I'm 60 years old. And my first definition of good hair came from my mother. And it was basically any kind of hair that wasn't quote unquote nappy. As a little girl, it was unheard of for my mom to let me go around with my quote unquote nappy hair. So I was first introduced to the straightening comb. And that was a process that was more torture than anything for me, because at that time perms had not been introduced. As I grew older, I began to realize that our society only accepted women of color if their hair mimicked hair of another race. And for a time, I bought into that. I bought into that because there was a time when I did the perms, I did the weave, I went back to the perms. But as I matured and I began to read more and I began to understand exactly what chemicals were being placed on our hair, which penetrated into our body, and the harm that they were doing, it caused me to begin to look for another avenue. We allow people to put chemicals on our hair, and they have on gloves when they're putting those chemicals on our hair, and sometimes they even have on masks. Now, they're protecting themselves to that extent. What are those chemicals doing to our hair? So as I began to research and I began to think about me, I began to think about African Americans and where we came from. And I started to just think about my hair with no chemicals in it. I have two daughters, and one locked her hair. Oh gosh, she's a teacher now, but when she was in high school, she began to lock her hair. And I'm ashamed to say now that initially I was so much against it, because I told her that it would be very difficult for her to get employment because she didn't look conservative enough. Well, as I said before, I'm ashamed that that's what I said at that time, because since I locked my hair and she inspired me to lock my hair, I began to realize how beautiful our hair really is. Our hair isn't kinky. Our hair is naturally curly. And naturally curly is the way I believe we should wear our hair. There are so many different variations. We can do the natural, we can do the locks, we can just wear our hair, we can blow dry our hair and let it go. So we don't have to mimic another race. If we just take pride in our hair, the way our hair was meant to be, I think we'd be better off we'd be more healthy. How did I do?
That's perfect.
Did perfect. Did good.
That sounds great.
Okay.
I came in contact with the good hair, bad hair syndrome for my mother. She was a hairdresser, and she did most of the hair. After she got, I guess, a license and stuff, she did a lot of hair in the home, you know, in the kitchen actually. And so,
kitchen beautician.
right. So I came in quick contact with the hot comb because afros was the big thing back then, and the bigger it was, the better your afro. So, you know, a lot of us used to put the hot comb through our hair just to get the hair to be as long as we could, and then by the time we went to a party, it was about 3 inches short. But as far as the good hair idea, for some reason, I really don't know where it came from in my life, but it seemed like, basically from watching television, it seemed like actors always had best hair. And so with the good hair idea, it seemed like that people here who were straight and that wasn't curly seemed to be good hair. In my personal family, I have a mixture of textures of hair. Some of my members of the family hair is real straight, dark black, and some of it is curly like mine. So, but I guess where it really derived from is really hard to pinpoint one particular area because it was so many little things that, you know, manifested the idea that whether here, this person here was good or that person here was bad. The thing that I enjoy about the natural hair is that I think it's healthier for that person to have a natural hairdo versus having certain type of chemicals that don't agree with his hair. I was told also that you know, certain type of medications will that's prescribed to you will determine whether what type of length of your hair will grow or the texture of your hair. I'm a high blood pressure person, and I take hypertension pills. So they, I was told that people who take blood pressure medication seems to have their hair longer than people who don't. I don't know if that's been a true study or not.
In my days, what we call good hair is that I'm not African, but my grandmama is white, my grandfather is black. So my mama's side of the family have long straight hair because my grandmother. So we call that side of the family good hair. My side of the family, we call it kinky hair because my daddy got kinky hair. So that's what we call kinky hair. We call bad hair really. But otherwise,
So the bad hair is, the kinky hair is the bad hair?
that's what we call it.
Oh, okay. And the long, straight, wavy hair
That's
is
what
the
we
good
call
hair?
it.
Oh, okay. Is it still like that in Panama now? Like today, would someone say, oh, you have,
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
what would they say, kinky or nappy? What are the
Well,
words that
we
they
call
use?
it kinky in America, but back home we call it nappy.
Nappy?
Nappy,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's still, you know.
Yeah, it's got a long ways.
Mhm.
It's really good, a long ways.
How do you feel, what do you feel about your hair? What do you think your hair is? Good hair or bad hair?
Well, I call my hair stubborn.
Stubborn?
Yeah, stubborn
Stubborn.
hair, and I have a little on my head because of him.
Mhm.
He fought with me all these years, stop putting chemicals in, and you know, I just wanted to have long, straight, pretty hair.
Mhm.
So I kept doing it, I'm messing it up, doing it, I'm messing it up, and just spend more to mess it up.
Mhm.
So you got an older man, you know, you got a break of me. So I just stopped. And I'm glad that I did.
Mhm.
Because, you know, now I appreciate, because sometimes I afro it, and I really appreciate my natural,
Mhm.
you know, right where I came from. But, you know, coming to America, everybody just, you know, long weave and wigs, you don't know the difference. So I wanted my hair like that too. But it sure messed it up.
So when you go home in Panama, do you wear your hair natural or do you wear it in your twist? Or either way, do you get backlash at home? Like do people say, oh, why you wear your hair like that? Or
Well, no, I haven't been back home.
Oh,
Start
okay.
with that. But,
Oh, okay.
you know, we got braids and all that back home too.
oh, okay.
And mostly back home is relaxing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they don't do relaxers. Do they do weaving and things like that?
Well, yes, they do.
Mhm.
They do, but we don't do relaxer. We do something they call, how do you say?
Mhm. What is that?
It's straightening here, but it's not as harsh as the
Relaxer.
relaxer.
Is it a chemical that you
It's
use?
a chemical, but it's not like anybody could use it.
Oh, so maybe more like a mild texturizer. Or
Yeah,
something
anybody
like
could use it. Any type of hair, any type of hair.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've been actually talking to her to come here and talk to you guys about giving her some ideas that she wants to do naturally with her hair. And I think her resistance is that she said her hair is stubborn. I heard her say that just now. But the thing is that she likes to do different things with her hair. You know, so she would, like, when we first moved to Atlanta 20-something years ago, she would get a hairstyle, come home with the hairstyle, and by tomorrow morning, it's gone.